Good morning, Sasha, Braden, and everyone else who happens to be watching. Today, it's a Saturday, so it's a special treat. We're going to talk about after action reviews. Sasha, specifically about the PT test. And Braden, this can be applicable to anything that you're going through, that we always look at what happened, what should have happened, what did happen, what are lessons learned, what are good things that happened, etc. So, Sasha, a couple great things with the PT test, right? Number one, you passed. It's awesome. Number two, you recovered from an injury. Number three, you had whatever you did in the morning seemed to be fairly successful. You didn't seem, you weren't throwing up and those types of things. A couple of things to now think about as you move forward, right? You've mentioned you want to eventually get to maxing it. So take this as a baseline, right? This is what your current fitness level is right now. I would get exactly what your scores are and then try to map out exactly how and what type of progression do you need to make in order to get to either your next PT test being the max, or maybe depending on whether how far you have to go, it may be reasonable that in a year might be your ultimate goal, and that you want to move from where you're at now to the PT test in the fall to, I know that goal of maxing it, maybe the beginning of the end of your junior year, might be a great goal to have. Maybe you may not be too far off, that with some effort you can definitely make it in the fall. But maybe, we want to take a look and see, like, realistically, what can you make. Also want you to think about, I know that you and I both share a bit of a procrastination mentality, where it's almost like, well, if it's not right in front of me, sometimes it's hard to be motivated to do it. And in a lot of things, that works out okay. It works out okay in a lot of classes. Some classes like math and others, where you really just kind of have to grind and do all the work and do all the practice problems, it doesn't work out so well. And I would say that PT and physical fitness, as I'm sure you well know, is not something that can really be crammed in at the end. It's really hard to just cram everything in. In fact, when you're a week to 2 weeks out, really the best thing that you can do is sort of give your body a little bit of recovery, and then sort of kind of be ramping it back up so that you sort of hit that optimum peak. And I would suggest that there are lots of different things that you can try, but really, when I look at like triathlon plans and other things that I followed, about 2 weeks out, there was a bit of a taper. And then the week before the event was really all about keeping the muscles loose and not hurting yourself, not straining yourself, not overdoing it. And I know that may be difficult with acro tumbling, but that may be also something to look at, is looking at your schedule. What are things that you can change? What are things that you can do better at in terms of fitting in your goals? Maybe if you really have, as an example, if you really struggle getting your runs in, you may need to work over the summer and off season of acro tumbling to really improve that 2 mile time. That may be really the focus. And then when acro tumbling starts, you're going to naturally get stronger. You're doing a lot more lifting and weight workouts. That may be the time where you start getting that deadlift improvement, or even the plank improvement. And then you just maintain the improvements that you've made over the 2 miles. Those are lots of things that you can think about. I know that you've got the weekend to think about it. I don't want you to lose sight of the fact that it was a big deal that you passed this PT test, because you've had injuries, you've had adversity, you've had to overcome your acro tumbling schedule, your injuries, etc. And it was great. You did awesome. But there's always room for improvement, right? You said yourself after the PT test, I want to hit a max. So to do that, I think you're going to need to kind of map out a road that's going to get you there. I'd love to help you. I was a Master Fitness Certified Trainer, and so I spent 28 years in the Army doing PT tests, plus 4 years before that, and even had some interactions with people at the Performance Enhancement Center, where I learned a few things about preparing for maximal physical exertion and maximal effort, et cetera, et cetera. So if you ever want to talk about that, I'd love to be a resource to help you. But again, great job on the PT test. Super excited for you, and look forward to just continuing to watch your progress. All right. Love you. Bye.